A corner is the only moment in football where 22 players stop, look at each other, and set up exactly as they were told to on Thursday. It is the dead 20 in its most common form, and it happens about 10 times a game. So here is what teams actually do with it. 7 routines, from the one your local side runs on a Sunday to the one that costs a specialist a full-time salary. What each is designed to produce and how hard each one is to defend. Watch the ratings climb, because the good ones stopped trying to win the ball a long time ago. The back post float, the corner hit long and high over everybody to the far post. One idea and one only. Get the ball past the crowd to the single place a goalkeeper cannot reach, where somebody tall is arriving unopposed. It is the cheapest routine in football. No rehearsal, no timing, no blockers. A delivery and a big man. For most of the sport's history, this was the corner, near enough. The big centre half sent forward, the ball aimed at his head, and no plan beyond that. It is still the default at every level below the professional game, and it survives in professional playbooks as a change-up, thrown in a handful of times a match precisely because the rehearsed routines have trained the defense to expect something else. The goalkeeper's problem here is real. A ball dropping at the far post is the one delivery he cannot come and claim, and that is also where it loses. A high, deep ball is in the air longer than anything else on this list, and every defender in the box gets that entire flight to find a body, turn, and get goal side. The only weapon the routine has is the same thing that hands the defense its only advantage. Verdict: 5 out of 10. The longest flight in the playbook is the easiest one to read. The near post flick, an in-swinger driven at pace toward the near post, and an attacker attacking it with a glancing header. He is not trying to score. He is trying to change the ball's direction and send it across the face of goal, where 3 players are already running. What that solves is the goalkeeper. A ball whipped into the near post zone sits in territory he cannot claim without leaving his line, and the first contact needs a touch rather than a leap, because the pace is already on the ball. Then the geometry does the rest. A flicked ball traveling away from a goalkeeper across his own 6-yard box is close to the worst thing that can happen to a defense. Every defender in there is suddenly facing his own goal, chasing something moving faster than he is, and any touch at all puts it in. It costs something. The flick is a 50-50 you have to win first, and it is contested in the most crowded square meter on the pitch. Get it wrong and you have cleared the ball for the opposition. This was the signature of the great English set piece sides of the 70s and 80s, and it is the routine that turned attack the near post into a coaching cliché. It is still the highest frequency designed target in the professional game, which is unusual for an idea that old. What stops it is one body. A defender posted on the 6-yard line whose only job is to touch the ball before anybody else does. The near post guard. Verdict: 8 out of 10. It attacks the one zone a goalkeeper cannot own. The drilled ball. Hit flat, hard and low across the face of goal, roughly head height or below, with no loop on it at all. Nobody is meant to win this cleanly. It is a cutback taken from a dead ball. What it buys is time by taking it away. A floated corner gives a defense a second or more to read the flight and organize. A drilled one gives it a fraction of that. Defenders cannot get goal side of a runner inside that window. A goalkeeper cannot come for it, and any touch at all, attacker, defender, shin, shoulder, sends it goalwards from 6 yards. That last part is the point rather than an accident. The routine manufactures own goal risk and treats it as an asset, because it converts a corner into the chaos of an open play cutback, and a cutback is a far harder thing to defend than an aerial duel. It cuts both ways. Taking the time away takes it away from your own attackers too, which makes this the routine most likely to end with nobody touching the ball at all. That is why it lives alongside the others instead of replacing them. The low-driven corner has been a specialist's weapon for decades, usually kept for sides with one exceptional striker of a ball. It is the routine most visibly on the rise since dedicated set-piece coaching arrived, because it is the one that most rewards rehearsal. Everybody has to know where the ball is going before it is struck. Verdict: 7 out of 10. It spends your time and theirs, and they have less to spare. The short corner. 2 players, a 5-yard pass, and a delivery from somewhere else. Not a trick. A deliberate change of the angle the ball arrives from, and an invitation. It does 2 things at once. It turns the corner into a cross from the byline or the edge of the area, arriving on a line the defense has not set up for. And it forces a decision. Come out and press it, and you have taken bodies out of your own penalty area. Stay in, and you have handed a free crosser time and space he did not have a moment ago. The famous one is Liverpool against Barcelona in 2019. A corner taken before anybody had finished arguing about it, and a Champions League semi-final settled. What that demonstrated was that the value sits in when you take it, rather than where you stand, which points straight at the weakness, and it is a big one. Against a defense that has decided in advance what it does about short corners, this is the easiest routine on the list to defend. 2 defenders step out, the numbers are even. And the attacking side has given back the crowded box that made the corner dangerous in the first place. That is why you now see it used as a pressure release as often as an attack, a way of keeping the ball when the box is too well defended to bother with. Verdict: 6 out of 10. It beats indecision. It does not beat organization. The set-piece boom that produced half of this playbook is a story of its own, and there's a card up there for the video that explains why any of this got coached in the first place. The designed second phase, a routine whose first contact is expected to be a defensive header. The delivery is aimed at a zone the defense will clear into, and the attacking side has already put a shooter, a header back, and a rest defense exactly where that clearance is going. What it is hunting is the 2 seconds after a defense thinks it has won. A cleared corner is the moment every defender's body is moving outward, marking assignments have dissolved, and the offside line is nowhere. A ball returned into that box arrives at a defense that has stopped existing as a shape. So the routine gives up a contest it was never favorite in and takes the one it is. The second ball has always produced a disproportionate share of set-piece goals. What changed is that it stopped being an accident. It is now the clearest fingerprint of a coached set-piece program. A side standing and waiting at the edge of the box before the delivery has even landed is a side that was told to be there, and the hard part is not the shooting. It is the rest defense. Committing bodies to the edge of your opponent's box is how a corner becomes a counterattack against you, and the teams who run this properly are the ones who decided in advance exactly who does not go. Verdict: 7 out of 10. The most dangerous second of a corner is the one after it. The pack. 4, 5, sometimes 6 attackers standing in a tight cluster inside the box before the ball is struck, and scattering in different directions the moment it is. Sometimes a line, sometimes a huddle, sometimes a stack at the near post. This one attacks the assignment rather than the ball. A man-marking scheme depends on each defender knowing his man and being able to stay with him. Put 5 attackers inside 3 square meters, and every one of those jobs becomes physically impossible in the same instant. He cannot follow his runner without going through 2 other bodies, and he cannot switch without leaving somebody free. Zonal schemes are not spared either. A pack arriving into one zone means 2 of them are unmarked by definition. Watch one defender through it. He does everything he was told to do, and it does not matter. The cost is timing. A pack removes your own player's run-ups as well as theirs, so the release has to be exact. Half a second late and 5 attackers are standing still in a heap while the ball sails over them. Clustered corners are old, but they were treated as gimmicks. The crowd, the goalkeeper routines that got legislated and refereed into retreat. The cluster came back as a serious weapon once specialists started designing the release rather than the crowd, and it is common enough now that defenses drill against it specifically. Verdict: 8 out of 10. It doesn't beat the marker, it deletes the marking. The screen. 1 or more attackers positioning themselves legally and almost motionlessly in the path a marker has to travel to follow his runner. The runner goes one way, the screen stands still. The marker arrives at a stationary human being and stops. Blockers, picks, walls. The vocabulary is borrowed from basketball and American football, and so is the idea. Run it twice, and the mechanism is obvious. Without the screen, the marker meets the runner at the ball. With it, he meets a teammate of the runner 2 yards earlier, and the runner arrives alone, which is the thing this whole episode has been circling. Every routine on this list has been buying the same commodity, and it is not a better delivery. It is a yard, 1 yard of separation between an attacker and whoever is supposed to be marking him. Win that yard, and the header is trivial. Lose it, and the best ball in the world is a defensive header. Call it the first yard, and then look back along the 7 ratings, because they are sorted by it. The routines that try to solve a corner with a better delivery sit at the bottom. The ones that go after the marker sit at the top. And this is the only routine that skips the ball entirely and takes the yard off the defender directly. Then there is the legality, and it deserves an honest answer. The laws are precise here. Holding an opponent is an offense. Moving into his path to block him is an offense. Being in his path is not. A player has a right to the position he is standing in. The whole art of a screen is living on the correct side of a line that reads clearly on paper and is judged in real time by one person. And that ambiguity is the routine's actual weapon, because a defense cannot plan around a free kick it has no reason to expect. Verdict: 9 out of 10. It doesn't attack the ball, it attacks the defender. Line them up, and the pattern is not subtle. The routines that try to deliver a better ball sit at the bottom. The routines that go after the marker sit at the top. Somewhere in the last 10 years, corner coaching stopped being an argument about crossing and became an argument about separation. The 1 yard between a runner and the man who is supposed to be with him. Every routine on this list is a different way of buying it. The best ones just stopped pretending it was about the ball, ranked by how hard they are to defend. 5. The back post float, the longest flight and the easiest read. 6. The short corner. It beats indecision, not organization. 7. The drilled ball, and 7. The designed second phase. 8. The near post flick, and 8. The pack. And 9. The screen. 4 players standing still, and nobody fouled anybody. And if you think 4 players standing still in a penalty area to stop somebody running is not really football, you are not alone, and you are arguing about something the sport has never settled. It is also, at this point, the most reliably coached goal in the game. That's the corner taken apart. The rest of the dead ball gets the same treatment, 1 phase at a time, and the whole set is in the playlist on screen. If you want the working shown rather than the opinion given, the subscribe button is right there. So, screens at corners, smart coaching, or a foul that never gets given.